McGee, your nutrition evangelist here. I put the fun back into being healthy because life is too short to eat grilled chicken salads for lunch every day. I work with women who have decided that it is time to make their health a priority and they need a little bit of guidance to get started and along their journey. So, you may have seen a post from me about starting a 21-day reset. And what we're doing is we're eating in an anti inflammatory way to reduce inflammation, increase energy, and generally be healthier overall. So, if you are one of those people that starts to yawn or tune out as soon as you hear the words anti inflammatory, tune out no more because it doesn't have to be boring. Of course, it can be. Anything can be boring. At the same time, almost anything can be fun. So, I'm here to help guide you through how shifting the way you think about food and how it feeds you can be fun, flavorful, and healthy all at the same time. So, what we're doing on this 21-day reset is we're eliminating some common anti inflammatory foods. And they don't have an impact on everybody, but generally speaking, things like gluten and dairy and soy, um, alcohol, caffeine, refined sugars, added salts, and some grains as well, right? So, um, how do I keep that fun and flavorful? Well, it does take a little bit more diligence on reading labels and thinking about what you're going to eat instead of grabbing whatever happens to be nearby. But I'll share with you some of the things that I've had over these first couple of days. And there are things like ginger and garlic sausage from Walden Local, which is a local butchery, topped with some delicious mustard, deli mustard that has no salt and no sugar added because you really don't need any, with some homemade pickled cucumbers and red onions. Thank you to Debbie Brosnan of the Effortless Kitchen for turning me onto that recipe. And tomatoes or bell peppers or whatever veggies I happen to have. Now, I love fresh raw veggies. You can absolutely saute them so you have some peppers and onions and sausage if you want a little bit more of a classic meal. And you may be saying, but Dawn, that's just a normal meal. Well, yes, yes, it is. And at the same time, it meets all the criteria I described for also being an anti inflammatory meal with tons of flavor, tons of color, tons of fun. So, no worries. Anti inflammatory does not have to mean boring. Another thing that I do, and you've probably heard me say this, is I make a crock pot full of a couple of pounds of shredded chicken every week, and I keep that in my fridge. And so for lunch, I'll scoop out a portion, top it with some hot peppers because I love a little spice, and mix that with, again, whatever veggies I have on hand, as well as some fruit. I love kiwis. Right now, we've got some great grapes and fresh cherries. So take a look at what you've got fresh because fresh and in season is always going to be more flavorful. And you know me, I love to have the flavor. I love to have the fun. I love to have healthy meals all at the same time. So chicken, veggies, fruit, hot peppers, maybe a handful of cashews or nuts if I want something that's crunchy because I need a crunch. And that's a well balanced protein, fat, and carb meal, anti inflammatory, tons of flavor, super fast too, because one of the other things that is important for me is to make sure that I can grab a meal really quickly because once I get hungry, if I'm not eating, I am going for the leftover pizza or I'm going for whatever happens to be maybe not on my plan for that day. So those are just a couple of examples of how anti-inflammatory doesn't have to be boring. We just kicked off this 21-day reset on Monday. I'm really, really excited about how it's going. It's a pilot program. We're going to continue to refine and tweak it, and then in August, we are going to launch it to the world. So if you are interested in hearing more, tag me, give me an emoji at the bottom, and I will make sure that when we launch in August, I will let you know. Come join me in my Never Diet Again group, and you'll hear more about my journey along the way. And until next week, what I hope for you is that you live a life you love without being hungry, feeling deprived, or giving up your glass of wine with dinner. Unless, of course, you're on this 21-day journey with me, then we are indeed giving up our alcohol for these 21 days. But don't worry, it comes back really soon. And then look out for the amazing meals that we are all going to make together. So until next week, ciao.